Is this thing on? Okay, so I'm going to Donnington Park tomorrow on a museum tour, and this is my room, so I'll give you a tour. It's nice, isn't it? Yeah, nice. Got some good stuff. That's me. I've just been to the Newcastle match up in St James Park, obviously, just driven down today, so it's good, you know, got some good towels and stuff like that, yeah. Kettle, fan, that's my biggest fan. Oh, yeah. Too early for that, innit? We've just come back. Normally the bathrooms aren't great on this, so I'll just check about...
I was wondering how long you would take.
What are you doing here?
Well, actually, I've been trying to follow you for like a couple of months now because obviously I know you've been busy with university, I've been busy from work. I've took a bit of time off. I've been following you for like ages. You haven't returned my calls, you haven't returned my texts, so I thought, right, I know exactly where you're going. Tracked your phone down, I found you here.
I think I've blocked your number, but I'm not sure. So, why are you in my room? How did you get into my locked room? Just...
I know connections, I know people. Anyways, so yes, I wanted to bring back the F1 debate show. Now, I haven't done one this season, well, apart from my prediction video, which was the last video that we did, but, you know, I feel a bit lonely. Ever since we stopped the debate show, I was a bit like, you know, I've got no more friends. I've got nothing. So, I know I've got to do something to fill in the time. I mean, I'm collecting stamps, for God's sake. That's saying something. I've done all my train collection, done all my plane spotting. Stamps it was. So I thought, right, okay, it's time to change.
So, F1 debate show returning in 2018?
I think it will. I think it will.
I like that idea. I mean, you can't... I don't know why you're here,
Yeah.
but you're here anyway.
Well, since I'm here, I'm coming down to Park with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah?
Well, let's go. Let's think of some F1 debate show stuff. Let's go. Come on.
Oh, is that you?
Right. Here we go. There we go. F1 debate show in 2018 is back, guys, and I'm really excited, you know, to start this and what are you doing?
Well, you know, F1 debate show back, so, you know.
Oh, I get it. You want to do it with me, don't you, this time?
Yes. Well, of course, that's how it was originally done. Me and you.
You'll stand,
know.
I guess. Fine, if you want.
Good job,
Come on. We have to get in the camera. It's tight, you know. I mean, I don't want to be that close to you, but you know. Fine. Fine, right, okay. Okay, hello. We're back. We are back, and
What's been happening? What's been going on? Since we've been away.
not much. I mean, I haven't had my hair cut. I'm letting it grow. I've styled it a little bit, but it's getting big. I've shaved this. I don't like a beard. I mean, I think it's big, but you know,
Hey, I've got a beard.
I'm not a big fan of a beard, but I've let my hair grow. Yeah, I've got a bit of tan. I mean, yeah, it's been going well. You know, I've been getting into you know, a lot of knitting. I don't know why knitting is such an unmanly thing to do, but I like knitting.
I don't mean you, I mean Formula 1.
Knitting is Formula 1. I could have been knitting Formula 1 stuff. I have as well. Max Verstappen. I don't know why, but he brings out the knitting inside me. I just want to knit loads of Max Verstappen stuff, you know, like Dutch flags, 33s, Max Cozies. Does anyone want to buy a Max Cozy? I'll list them down below in the description box.
I think this break is like took a turn for the worse for this guy. It was normal before we finished.
So until I found the magical world of knitting. So have you been up any knitting recently?
No, I'm just cut the stones.
Sounds really
I'm
good.
on 3 pages.
One thing that I found though when I was knitting was that Daniel Ricciardo has moved from Redbull racing to Renault. Can you believe that?
He has what?
I don't know. I really don't know.
I can't believe that.
We all know. So, I mean, Honda. You know, I mean, I don't know what Honda is in Formula 1. They've really just kind of like downgraded their game. You know, they were great in the 90s, really, you know, successful. Then they came back with McLaren, and you remember that season with McLaren?
Who doesn't remember?
Who doesn't remember that?
Remember it?
Fernando Alonso came in, and it was basically, you know, Fernando is, you know, he's back with Honda. It was unbelievable. It was really a prodigy, you know, happening. It was just unbelievable for everyone. And in the season that he was there, the season that Honda powered McLaren, and the seasons that he returned to McLaren, and this big kind of amazing drive happened. What happened?
Everything but. happiness, I suppose. I think that's what I could put it.
So anyway, yeah. So it's just not. It wasn't great for McLaren. They actually parted with Renault. This season has been a McLaren Renault season. Honda. I mean, when they broke up. Okay, so last season when they broke up, Honda. It was sad. It was a little bit like Honda. They were good in Formula 1 before. I mean, they just kind of fell off. And they had a bad reception from Formula 1. They had a bad, going away parting gift, and it wasn't great for them. They came with Toro Rosso this season, but next season, Red Bull Honda. Can you believe that Red Bull Honda?
To be fair, I kind of can't believe it, because obviously why would a team like Red Bull go with Honda? But obviously I know their partnership with Renault has turned very, very sad. But like our partnership at the moment, of course.
Well, he says he can.
Exactly.
But yeah, so Timons.
Sorry.
You may speak. Ladies first.
Ladies first. Okay, so obviously a lot has been happening since we've been away. Obviously, one of the big things is that Daniel Ricciardo is leaving Red Bull for Renault. It's probably one of the biggest topics that we've had probably the past. I'll probably say since Sebastian Vettel left Red Bull, it's just blowing everything out of proportion. To be honest, it's like, okay, everyone thought Daniel Ricciardo was going to stay at Red Bull. He's not. He's going over to Renault, and the driver market is just literally anywhere. Anyone can go anywhere. Marcus Ericsson could literally go to Mercedes. It's simple. It wouldn't surprise me if he didn't, to be honest, obviously, with both of all.
I'd like to see that. I mean,
that would be good.
but Hamilton out? Hamilton out for that Ericsson? Would you like an Ericsson kind of...
Ericsson Boas partnership?
Yeah, definitely. That's exciting.
But, I mean, well, obviously, getting to the serious business now. In my opinion, this is a good move. I think actually it is a good move, because I've been thinking for a while, obviously, Renault being a works team, it is better being a works team than you are willing on McLaren. Obviously, don't really, run cars. I know McLaren, obviously, yeah, they do run cars, but they're still kind of classed as a works team. They came from one guy, Bruce McLaren, of course. But so obviously, Daniel Ricciardo is saying like into the future, it kind of in a sense of right, okay, Renault are on the rise, and eventually they will get there. But I don't think it's going to be as quick as what Mercedes was. Now, obviously, Mercedes came into power, brilliantly when the regulations changed in 2014. They literally it was like a duck to water, essentially. They got it spot on, and everyone else was just languishing behind. A couple of wins from Daniel Ricciardo, of course. Now, I can't really see Renault doing anything spectacular in the next couple of years, up until the engine regulations change in 2021. That's when I think probably Ricciardo and Renault will probably click. Depending if he gets an offer from Ferrari, in between that I don't know, because obviously I don't know what's going on at Ferrari at the moment, but obviously we'll get onto them a little bit later on. So obviously, Lyle, what's going on with Ricciardo and Red Bull? Obviously your team, your driver, what do you make of all this?
So Ricciardo, I mean, I haven't really taught Ricciardo in quite a long time. I mean, I'll tell you something, obviously he kind of got me into knitting.
Right, did he?
He did. He enjoyed knitting. I mean, I don't care what he says on telly, guys, he enjoys knitting. And he kind of got me into that, you know what I mean? Max is not really a knitter. I'll tell you what Max likes. Max likes a lot of DJ, and I'm trying to get into DJ. I'm trying to get into DJ scene.
DJ knitting?
DJ... Yes. I mean,
yes.
I don't know how to do fair. I don't know about DJing and knitting. I don't know. I'll probably drop one. I think knitting is my true call.
Knitting is the future?
I think knitting is my true call in life.
I think it is well.
I'll tell you something though. Ricciardo going to Renault, I don't know if he'll be knitting as much. I mean, he used to knit quite a lot when he was at Red Bull. And I don't know if he'll knit as much as he has with Renault, but I'll tell you something, it is bold. It's a bold statement, and it's it's probably as bold as when Hamilton went to Mercedes. Yes, Hamilton went to Mercedes from McLaren. Yes, definitely.
Massive.
And also, I mean, you could kind of say Vettel when he went to Red Bull, like John said. You know, I mean, sorry, when he went to Ferrari from Red Bull.
Sorry, yeah.
You could kind of say that, yeah. But it's just a bold move. But the main thing is, obviously, I mean, it's not, it's not unclear that he just went there because of Renault. He went there because, I mean, he was scared of Honda. He didn't want them to come in. He didn't want a partnership with Honda because, I mean, Jordan, so basically, you're a Formula 1 fan.
Well, I would like to think I am.
And you also like knitting.
Well,
not as much as me, though, because I love knitting.
You're the top knitter.
One. Yeah, I'm the top knitter. So, you've seen how bad Honda have been in the last few years, haven't you?
Oh, I thought been.
Toro Rosso have gone with Renault. Sainz is, I mean, I don't want to say jumped ship, but he went to Renault and not with Honda because he was like, Honda, I don't want that. Renault, Red Bull going with Honda. Ricciardo didn't want that, did he? And so he's now gone to Renault following the partnership that basically he's been with. So he joined the team in 2014, they've been a Renault engine. Even though he's had 7 wins in 4 years, it's not a great statistic. I know it's not a great statistic.
It is terrible, to be honest.
But I don't know. So, Jordan, has Ricciardo got a little bit of a sweet spot for Renault, or has he got a kind of a love partnership with Renault, and that's why he's going?
Well, I think probably one of the main reasons he's good. Obviously, yes, he wants to win the championship, and he sees the potential in Renault. But I think they've offered him quite a big deal, to be honest. Probably more than what he is on at Red Bull. But obviously, with Renault and Red Bull, the relationship is just so sour. To be honest, I know Christian Horner has come out and said, of course, that he understands why Ricciardo's going. He wishes him well, but putting back his mind is like, you know what, I could kill you right now, to be honest. Because yes, as we were saying, you know, 7 wins in 4 years for Daniel Ricciardo, it's unheard of, to be honest. For a team like Red Bull, obviously coming from the dominant force that they once were, for Ricciardo to go from an unreliable Renault to then go to an unreliable Renault, in a way it doesn't kind of make sense. But you've just got to literally just take it as if, I don't know, to be honest. It's like you've just literally got to wait and see.
Do you know what
happens?
Do you know what Christian Horner said about Ricciardo's leaving? He said he thought it was a joke.
Ooh.
And I believe that, because I mean, obviously Ricciardo, he jokes all the time.
Oh, he does.
He even told me that he doesn't like knitting.
Wow, really?
Yeah, he loves knitting. I know he loves
He got
knitting.
me.
I know he loves knitting. Not as much as me, but he loves knitting. He's done quite well as well. If he doesn't knit in Formula 1, which obviously I hope he really, really does, but if he doesn't, he's got a seat in knitting or, you know, a chair in the knitting championship. Anyway, but yeah, Christian Horner thought it was a joke. I mean, I don't blame him, because obviously Ricciardo, you know, makes jokes all the time. He's a very funny guy, probably the funniest guy in the podium. On the podium. I don't know, I meant in the paddock. I don't want to say podium, but he has to be on the podium. So he's the funniest guy in the paddock, you know, by far. He always jokes, he always smiles, and yeah, Christian Horner said, quote, I thought it was a joke when he told us, because, you know, to turn around to Christian and go, okay, Christian, sorry Australians, you know, I'm going to offend you for a little bit, sorry Christian Horner, I'm going to leave Red Bull Racing, and I'm going to go to Renault next year, because I think they're partnering, Nico Hulkenberg is going to be the best decision for me, and I'm going to leave Max Verstappen and your brilliant team and go to Instown, because I believe that they've got a much better car for me, better than the Honda that you're going to give me for the next 2 years before we potentially go to Aston Martin in 2021, which actually we'll get on to later, but more about the Honda. So that was my Australian accent.
Incredible.
We're gonna,
You get a round of applause, we'll give you that.
yeah, so obviously Ricciardo leaves, tells Christian Horner it's a joke, but it actually is real. Everyone finds out, everyone is shocked. Basically, the majority is kind of, are you kidding me? Is it a joke? I can't believe that you're going to leave Max Verstappen, leave Milton Keynes, you know, leave quite a good steady team. Which I mean, yeah, 7 wins in 7 wins in 4 years.
Yeah.
It isn't a great start, but it's the top team. You know, Red Bull, since they came into Formula 1, have, not since it came in, sorry, but you know, for a number of years they've been on the top. They've won 4 Drivers' World Championships for Sebastian Vettel. They've dominated Formula 1. They've done so much for it. And then you're going to go to Renault. It is very much like a Lewis Hamilton, that we don't know the potential of Renault. Like we didn't know the potential of Mercedes, like we don't know the potential of Nico Hulkenberg. Obviously, I mean, Rosberg kind of stepped up the game when Hamilton got there, obviously because the team did. We don't know the potential of anything. But the thing that we know is that he's leaving, and it's not unclear, it's not kind of a secret to think that Ricciardo was left because they're going to Honda engines next year, and that he's going to Renault, and that he wants to stay with the Renault engine, and that, as Jordan said, it's money, and obviously, as you know, money runs Formula 1. Yep. But another big thing is Max Verstappen. Now, I was reading this in the last few days. Now, it is really, really strange. Max Verstappen is obviously a really hungry 20-year-old driver. He's going on 21. I can't believe he's actually younger than us. I mean, honestly, when I think about that, it makes me cry. Esteban Ocon, Lance Stroll, and there's probably anyone that are younger than us?
Rocket? I don't know.
I hope not. There's probably some more.
There's
probably some more that are younger than us, and it makes me want to cry. So, yes, I keep losing my train of thought. I don't know why. So Max Verstappen, obviously, he's a really good driver, really hungry, and he wants to go for the World Championship. 2018? Yeah, is that what you said one day?
Well,
You
I
said
did.
that.
I did, because I made the prediction 4 years ago that he would be 2018 World Champion, when it was announced he would go with Toro Rosso in 2014, because, well, the announcement was made for the Golden. And so obviously I seen the potential in Max Verstappen, but obviously how was I supposed to know what the situation would be like with Red Bull today? Because at the time Red Bull, I know they had a dodgy season, but of course I thought, well, okay, they'll get used to it eventually. They'll develop a very, very good car to the point of where, you know, they'll be back on form. But obviously they're playing third fiddle to Ferrari and Mercedes. All right, they had a good, obviously that 2 year spell when Ferrari had no wins in the season. 2014, 2016, obviously Red Bull obviously responded. But whenever Ferrari's up their game, Red Bull haven't really competed. Like 2015, Red Bull were nowhere to be seen. It was always the Williams that were always in third place. And then again in 2017, of course, Red Bull unreliable was a start.
Yeah.
Then at the end, they kind of picked up the pace. But actually, they did that in 2016. It was like, okay, Red Bull have had a really good season. Obviously, finished in third place. No, second place, sorry, because obviously Ferrari didn't win that season.
Yeah.
So obviously we were like, all right, Red Bull are actually going to go on to challenge Mercedes. Then the following year comes, if Ferrari's on top, then okay, Red Bull had a really bad start like they did in 2016. Okay, move on to the end of the season. Okay, Max Verstappen winning the race. Okay, they've actually done quite well, though. Verstappen, obviously finishes on podium, wins there. I think did he win one race or two towards the end of the season?
In 2017.
In 2017.
He won. I can't remember.
I think it was one Mexican Grand Prix.
Yeah.
However, obviously towards the end of the season, Red Bull picked up some brilliant form. Verstappen, Ricardo, podiums left, right, and centre, and it was like 2018 is going to be their year.
Yeah.
It's like it's just another season. I'm expecting them to hit form at the end of the season, but obviously Verstappen does see the potential. I know, yes, he was contracted into the Honda era, but obviously teams can buy out driver contracts these days. So obviously the Honda deal with Red Bull, it's just obviously you don't know how it's going to pan out because of the history that they've had with McLaren. They've got a Honda. They are more reliable, but if you do look at like how many components have been used, Honda have already used the most out of anybody else. So therefore, that's the downside. That could literally hinder Red Bull's championship aspects in 2019. But obviously, Lyle did tell me on the way down that apparently they have been working on an engine for a customer team when they were actually with McLaren and actually joined Toro Rosso. So maybe the Toro Rosso deal was like a kind of like a trial run to see how it goes. And I've been saying this for a while now, that the Honda is only going to be a couple of year gap up until 2021 when Aston Martin will come into the sport. However, if Honda do provide Red Bull with a championship winning engine,
And that will happen.
I really don't know. And I think they'll stay with Honda.
Yeah.
But obviously, I think in this episode we've been talking about a lot about engines and knitting.
Knitting, yes.
So team knitting. So I think we just discussed probably about the most complicated aspect about the whole Formula season now and the future is the driver market. As I was saying at the start of the episode, Daniel Ricciardo's move to Renault, it's just blowing everything out of proportion. It's just like, where's everyone going to go? Who's going to get that Red Bull seat?
Yeah.
Who's going to get a Red Bull seat? Whoever replaces to get a Red Bull seat, who's going to replace the guy in that? So I'm going to sort of wind my way back. Let's back up just a little bit and go back to when James Kay has gone to McLaren. Now he hasn't officially gone.
When's that? 1937.
No, that was too far.
Oh, okay. I'll come back to this.
Apparently, I wouldn't go that far. I'll probably go
Isn't that 1812? Have I gone that far back?
Way too far.
I need
Get forward.
Yeah,
get
come
forward.
on. I've got my knitting. Well, I've got my knitting head on, man. I'm not in this.
So obviously James Kay is obviously going to McLaren. It hasn't been officially confirmed, I don't think, because I know there was a bit of hoo-ha around he'll stay at Toro Rosso for another, I don't know how many races, I'm not really too sure, because McLaren kind of confirmed it before it actually was happening. I really don't know about Toro Rosso. It's been, it's caused a bit of a stir. But apparently there is a rumour in that deal where they'll send Lando Norris, McLaren will send Lando Norris to Toro Rosso on loan, obviously getting rid of one of their drivers. Now, before Ricciardo was announced going to Renault, you would think, Brendan Hartley would move. No, keep Brendan Hartley, or maybe get rid of Brendan Hartley and Pierre Gasly, and obviously Norris will go and replace Gasly, and Gasly will go off to Red Bull. Now, seeing Pierre Gasly at Red Bull, I mean, it's just going to be so spicy to see Max Verstappen and Pierre Gasly, two very young, hungry, very talented drivers who potentially could be world champions in the future. I think there will be one of them at least, if not both.
And drivers who know each other as well.
Exactly,
So
race
Hamilton
each other,
and Rosberg,
race each other in the lower categories.
which is big.
It's massive.
But it's if it turned into a Hamilton Rosberg. But it's just good that they know each other, and yeah, I'd say there is a rivalry. Especially that you'll be building up from the lower categories as well. But yeah, just absolutely. It would be great. I mean, yeah, that would probably be the best partnership that they could get because they know each other. It's going to be great. They're both young. They're both, hungry for wins. Both, it's going to be
Both with brilliant potential as
Very
well.
good.
So I think for those two, because obviously those two are just going to be a hammer and tongue like everyone. We're not going to say a Daniel Ricciardo, Max Verstappen kind of partnership where everyone was like, oh, this
friendly,
is the friendly or happy.
smiling.
It's going to be like, I absolutely despise it. I want to kill you. That's just creepy. Very, very creepy.
God. I'm probably knitting. I want to go back to knitting, man. Honestly, I want to be true knitting.
We'll do this and go. So, anyways, right, come to it. So, but obviously, another driver that could potentially fill the Daniel Ricciardo seat is Carlos Sainz. Now, for me, Carlos Sainz is easily probably the more favourite. I'll probably say one of the most favourite candidates. He deserves it more than Pierre Gasly. He's been in Formula One since 2015. Yes, 2015. He's already partnered with Verstappen at Toro Rosso for a season and a bit. So they know each other quite well. Carlos Sainz, obviously, he's been tipped for the Red Bull seat for a long, long time, ever since obviously when Daniel Ricciardo left Red Bull, from Red Bull. Verstappen came in and Carlos Sainz was like, "You're kidding us, right?" Which I'm very surprised he's still part of the Red Bull Junior program. Yeah. Obviously loaned out to Renault, but then when it was announced that Red Bull were going to Honda, that's when the future of Carlos Sainz was like put on hold. It's like, well, he's going to go back, or where's he going to go? Because obviously he's loaned out to Renault. He's not going to stay there for another year, because therefore Renault will have to buy him properly. And would they do that? I really don't know. But obviously for him going to Red Bull, I think that'll be, just as good as Pierre Gasly. But obviously they run the risk of, getting a young driver in first season at Toro Rosso, doing rather well. Have they done it before? One season at Toro Rosso, then sign them next season? Have they done it before?
Yes, they have. I want to say yes. I want to say Sebastian Vettel, because he was with in Toro Rosso in 2008. Won the Italian Grand Prix in 2008, and 2009 he went to Red Bull Racing.
Well, I actually didn't. You were meant to say Daniel Ricciardo.
Oh well,
because he was in for a season.
Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Okay, give me a minute. Take two.
Take two. So, Lyle, I wonder if Toro Rosso on Red Bull have signed a driver that have been in. I'll start that again.
Oh, for God's sake!
I'll start that again.
No.
So, Lyle.
Danny Kvyat.
Yes.
Honestly, God, I'm going back to me knitting. And also Sebastian Vettel, but yes, Danny Kvyat. I wasn't really okay. So honestly, I mean, we've been out of this for so long. I've actually lost like this cutting and getting our words right and everything like that. But yeah, honestly, I mean, Toro Rosso, it's Honda, but they have been doing really well. I was going to say with Gasly as well. They've been in Q3 for quite a few races as well. I mean, I love that in Q3 when there's drivers. It's not just the two Red Bulls, it's not just two Ferraris, it's not just two Mercedes, it's other big drivers like that. Gasly's on point. Hartley, he hasn't got the experience, I don't think, at the moment, but Carlos Sainz is definitely still in there. He's a driver who, it has been a bit unfortunate, and I've got to say, John, I hadn't even thought about the Carlos Sainz thing until I mean, we all knew about it. When Verstappen when he left Toro Rosso, it was like, yeah, it was as you said, it was like, what the hell? Why have I, why is Max gone and Carlos hasn't?
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, that has been a really big thing. I don't think Red Bull work on the case of you deserve it because we kind of messed up your career, or be promoted like somebody else in front of you. But it would be good to see that. My guess is, as I hope that he does a good performance at Renault this year, and that will kind of show Red Bull. I hope they're watching, mind. I mean, I'm sure they are watching closely. But the thing is, though, at the start of the season, guys, they probably were watching closely. I mean, their relationship, Red Bull's Renault relationship, is, as Jordan said, to us, it's weird. It's I don't want to be with him.
Exactly. Like, he's the Red Bull, I'm the Renault engine. It's just
I'm kicking you out because you're unreliable and I want to get back to me knitting. So they were watching him. They're not. I don't think they are so much now because this is a partnership that just doesn't work. No. But yeah, Carlos Sainz could be a really good attribute. He still is a Renault. He still is a Red Bull driver. He's paid, so he's in their junior program, I should say. Obviously he's loaned out from Toro Rosso, a bit like in football, loaned out to see how he does. That's so cool. Like Formula 1 is football. That's cool. That is cool.
Drivers left, right, and centre.
It's like we do. So that's good. That is important. And he won't return to Toro Rosso. In my mind, it's going to be Red Bull or I don't know how to finish that or. Of course, Sainz, he's a spicy driver to watch.
Is it going to be Red Bull or Bus?
Red Bull or Bus? It is going to be Red Bull or the Bus home.
Oh, you could go back to Toro Rosso if Gasly just go to Red Bull.
Yeah, you could do. Yeah, so that kind of bros our thing. So it's either Red Bull, Toro Rosso, or the Bus home.
Yeah.
Or Red Bull, Renault, or Red Bull, Toro Rosso, or Renault Junior driver, or the Bus home. Or I don't know. There's a lot of things that he could do. But yeah, it is really exciting to see what Carlos Sainz could do. Obviously, Pierre Gasly is in that seat for Red Bull Racing, to partner with Verstappen. And John, are you for that? Do you vote Gasly in?
I actually do, to be honest. I think Pierre Gasly. Obviously, I know that Danny Kvyat, when he came into Toro Rosso, there wasn't really any potential around him. It was just kind of like the whole money aspect of things. He's certainly very, very quickly at the moment. It's freaking me out.
I can't believe you actually got into my room.
You're still wondering about that, aren't you?
That's
freaky, that.
I might call security. Why didn't I do that before I go? Why didn't I do that?
We've done like 23 minutes.
We haven't called 20 minutes. I haven't called security. I'll call them after.
Okay. We'll do this video.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah.
So yes, obviously Pierre Gasly has got a lot.
Have you got any stuff here? I'd pack your stuff up if I were you. Why were you in the bathroom? Why didn't you just sit on the bed as well? Why do you have to sit in the bathroom? Nobody. I don't ever go into a room and think I'm gonna go and sit on the bathroom. I'm gonna go and sit on the I'm gonna sit on the toilet. He's a weird guy. He is a really weird guy. I would just no. No. But Gasly, I don't know what Jordan said. I wasn't really listening.
I didn't get stars.
So yes, I vote Gasly, and I think that he would be a really good attribute for that.
Yeah.
He would be great to partner Max Verstappen. Max is hungry. Max is going to be the #1 driver.
Belgium next.
Oh.
Because you said it was hungry, so
No, that's no. So Max Verstappen is Belgium. He's Belgium.
Right, okay.
He's Belgium for a win. He's Belgium for a world championship.
Which stuff?
Can you take him on with you? Can anyone? For free. I'll pay you to take him. So he wants a win. He wants a world championship. He is now going to be #1 driver, which is going to be really good. He's going to move to the right hand side of the garage. He is going to be on fire. He's going to get the admiration that he deserves. He's been building up, but as Jordan said, he is not a Ricciardo. He is not a funny-faced driver. Ricciardo was serious. We're not saying that he isn't. He wasn't. But Max Verstappen is in it to win it. He has the team's backing. He had it when he went to Red Bull, for sure, because he kicked out a driver. He kicked out a driver.
That is skill.
It is skill.
Nothing to do with Jos Verstappen. Nothing.
No, not at all.
No.
All Max.
No.
It's almost like saying that Jordan got into this room all by himself, not like he had
It was
any help
not Jos
whatsoever. Jos Verstappen did not help him get into this room and Jos get out. And it is good. Max Verstappen he's talented behind the wheel of the Red Bull, but he's got all their talent, he's got all their backing. And Sebastian Vettel, last thing, Jordan, before we close out, Sebastian Vettel put Renault on the map. Do you agree? With Renault. With Red Bull. So Sebastian Vettel, Renault, he put them on the map with 4 drivers' world championships.
Sebastian Vettel,
Red Bull, Renault, yes.
Red Bull, Renault. Yes, of course it did, because obviously it was a big era for Formula 1 as well, especially with Schumacher and Ferrari. Obviously Ferrari were already there anyways on the map because of obviously the legacy they've already had in Formula 1, but it was like the next sort of step in chapter for them by having Max Schumacher winning 5 world championships in a row, 5 constructors championships. It was just crazy how Ferrari went about the business. Obviously Red Bull went through the same sort of phase, but obviously there wasn't as much rule changes back in those days. It was just pretty much simple, pretty much build the fastest car you possibly could, have the best drivers you possibly could. I say driver because obviously it's probably how Williams probably second.
Well, Red Bull had Mark Webber.
Exactly. So
I'm sorry, I really like you.
Which is going to be good, just on that point as well. Which is going to be good because when we've seen big teams have one amazing driver and another one who's just playing second fiddle. For example, now we have Valtteri Bottas and Lewis Hamilton. Bottas is playing second fiddle.
Oh, yeah.
Rosberg didn't want to play second fiddle, so that's why there was a bit of tension between them. And then obviously that's why you had the likes of Schumacher and Barrichello. It was good because Schumacher won more or less every time, but there was no real battle. I mean, obviously you had a bit of rivalry with David Coulthard and that's all I think about the time.
But he is getting there. But Bottas
he's getting
there. Definitely.
He's getting there. But will he beat Lewis Hamilton?
Question marks. But he's getting there. He is getting there, and obviously that's all.
Also,
built
what I was going to finish on about that as well is obviously the whole having Pierre Gasly in that team.
Yeah.
That could be the next sort of big thing for Red Bull. That could again put them back on the map of everyone buying Red Bull merchandise as well. And obviously, it's going to be good that both drivers want this championship because they both got no. I say no wins. There's happened already before, isn't it? Gasly hasn't. Gasly will win races. I'm telling you.
Well, he'll do. Bottas, you get a Mercedes car, of course he'll.
Exactly.
Of course he's going to
you
win.
put him in a decent car, he'll do a decent
I mean, if
job.
you put Pastor Maldonado in a Mercedes, I'm not saying that he's going to win because it's Pastor Maldonado, for God's sake. Or if you put Jordan in a Mercedes car, he's not going to win because he's got in my room for some reason. Exactly. And but it's a Mercedes, of course, and you put anyone in that Red Bull and you give it a good You give it a good engine. And Jordan, I was just about to say, Sebastian Vettel, you said he put Red Bull on the
Yes.
Red Bull Renault on the map.
Yes.
Okay, it's like making history, okay? Red Bull Honda, the first time this has happened, Max Verstappen, he's now the anchor, isn't he?
Yes,
So as
right,
he
okay.
got that, so Sebastian Vettel, Renault, he put Renault on the map with Red Bull, okay? Is Max Verstappen, if he does well with Honda, he can put Honda on the map, can't he?
Of course.
He can revamp Honda. He can think, okay, you had a bad, you had a bad few years with McLaren, but we can kind of scrap that. And I'm thinking he could be their survivor. He could be their really special kind of guy. And that's the thing, Max. If you're sitting here now, you must be excited because you're thinking, I'm leading this team. I'm going into battle with Honda. I don't know what's happening, but like Sebastian Vettel, you could have a. If I was Max, I'd be excited right now. I would
This
be really
could
excited.
be a fairy tale story in, Honda started from the bottom and worked their way up into a championship winning constructor. Engine, honest.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Oh my god.
Started from the bottom, now I want to get back to my knitting. So that is the end of the F1 Debate Show first episode back. No, it isn't because we're doing Donnington tomorrow. That's the end of us talking. We're going to Donnington tomorrow. I'm going to have to explain a few
We
more
are going to have like a
things.
couple of little video clips in at the end.
Oh,
if,
yes.
If you just want to see the video.
Yes.
So we are going, aren't we? Aren't we?
We'll see.
We'll see. No.
But first, get out of my room.
There we go.
Wait, before you go, have you got my knitting stuff? Oh, he's gone. Yours can come back in now. See you tomorrow.
So after that amazing episode, obviously our first episode back, well, actually been at Donnington Park, which is like obviously a collection of all like the best Grand Prix cars that have like ever been built, and obviously most famous Senna's 93 cars. I think that team when he sixth the first with that team. I'm quite excited. So why don't you just come with us and see what's in store?